very good afternoon to you. My name is Aidan Schoonby. I'm a member of the executive at Palabora Copper. I'm really grateful to be here at Unisa's world-class Florida campus for science and research and technology. We've just had a visit around the very impressive laboratories and seen Unisa's mining students hard at work. And it's really been an encouraging introduction to us who've traveled just over 500 kilometers to be here for an auspicious occasion, that is the signing of a memorandum of understanding. This is truly an important event for us, as is the memorandum. The memorandum that we have formalized and we will be officially signing off here at the campus covers a scope of cooperation that includes 7 areas. These areas focus on collaborative research and development to enhance technology and commercialization and technical support, both on the campus here at Unisa and in our property at PMC, where we have 3 business streams, being copper, vermiculite, and magnetite. So why are we here? Other than to sign a memorandum of understanding, we at PMC realized that by partnering with a leader in the world, Africa's only mega university, the university where 1/3 of higher education students attend, over 400,000 postgraduate and undergraduate students through Unisa and its various affiliates. By partnering with this world-class organization, Palabora Mining Company, which has a vision to be a leader in the mining industry through our performance, we realized there was an opportunity for a win-win relationship that didn't need either party to compete against each other. It didn't need one party to succeed and the other one to lose. And in fact, it needed very little compromise from either party. And that is why from September 2023, our first tentative discussions, to here we are in April of 2024 for this signing ceremony. And the reason that no difficulty was experienced by either party was because there's such a strong alignment. We at Palabora Mining Company mine minerals, but a core value is to grow our people, to provide integrated learning opportunities, to expose our staff and even our contractors to new technology and to innovation. And of course, Unisa's mandate is to educate. And especially here at the College of Science, Engineering and Technology at the Florida campus, our values overlap almost 100%. So from our original discussions, we set about exploring how could we create a harmonious relationship and how could we benefit. Unisa is not only a leader in education, but it's a leader in industry-based research. And that, I think, is the key, because Palabora is an industry and we are looking for research and development that improves our industry, that improves the lives of those who undertake the research, and that improves the performance of the business. So once we had established that Unisa had a focus on industry-based research as opposed to purely academic or first principles research, we realized that there was a strong connection. We also realized that Unisa and its executive have a passion to carry education not just at postgraduate and undergraduate level, but they have a passion and indeed a mandate to explore short learning programs and work integrated learning, and to develop frontline leadership programs in a technical arena. And so, as part of our journey, we covered 7 areas of collaboration, and these include the exchange of educators, the exchange of students, and the exchange of administrators between the two organizations. It includes collaboration for technology and the commercialization of technology. It includes work integrated learning programs, and it includes short learning programs. And one of these that I'm especially excited about that we are focusing on is the development of a frontline development program for supervisory staff. And together with Unisa, we are developing a curriculum that is aimed at achieving a higher certificate level, NQF level 5 of qualification. At this stage, everything we do is being done for the first time. It's almost additive. Every new module that we add to the curriculum is a single addition to the whole. And over time, just as in the way we established this memorandum of understanding, by adding one piece of collaboration, one piece of value addition, one piece of innovation, the relationship and what we're achieving together is growing. But my vision for this goes beyond our immediate success with Unisa, because I believe once we have paved the way and concluded this pilot program, Unisa can enter into a multiplication of education. Without going through all the effort of adding and developing and having qualifications done module by module, we will have a world-class product that can be taken out across the industry. And this can allow Unisa to make a massive impact in the mining industry of South Africa. And after all, South Africa is a mining country. And if Unisa makes an impact in the mining industry of South Africa, we know that it makes a positive impact on the country as a whole. So here we are at the beginning of a journey. I would like to say we're here at the beginning of many journeys. We firmly believe that we are not the only industry and the only organization that will benefit out of this pilot program. But we believe that we are the pathfinders, and so we have a special obligation and a special responsibility to do this right and to make this a success. And if we do that, through the process of multiplication, through Unisa's ability to reach a wide audience, through Unisa's focus on industry-based research and development, it's my belief that what we are busy with today will change the direction of the mining industry in this country. Yes, we are busy with long-term goals. The results will not be measured in weeks and in months. We will need to persevere, we will need to hold to our vision, and we will need to continue as we have started, which is to explore innovation at every step of the journey. So to our colleagues at Unisa, once again, a heartfelt thank you. To the executive and our shareholders at Palabora Mining Company, who have so generously reinvested in the company, reinvested in life of mine projects, and reinvested into education, not just of school leavers and new entrants into our industry, but also of those who've been in the industry for 5, 10, sometimes 30 years. And in collaboration with Unisa's RPL program, which is another portion of our scope of cooperation, where some of these learners who in all their dreams never thought they would be a learner because they had missed the chance to study straight after school. And here they are with kids and a family and a stressful job and how to pay the bills each month, and knowing that an advanced education is simply not for me. But here with this collaboration with Unisa's flexible and innovative and value-adding approach to recognition of prior learning, we have a group of students. The first group is 54 undergraduates who are able to embark on empowering their lives, advancing their careers, and furthering their education. We have 54 of our employees as undergraduates this year registered with Unisa, and that is as a direct result of this collaboration. And as we are pathfinding here, we believe that the 54 members will just be a small fraction of those who follow, not only at PMC, but also at all our sister mines. Thank you once again for the opportunity to be here.
His Excellency, the Chancellor of the University of South Africa, President Thabo Mbeki, the Principal and Vice Chancellor of the University of South Africa, Professor Puleng Linkapula, Vice Principal, Research, Postgraduate Studies, Innovation and Commercialization, Professor Thenjiwe Meyiwa, Executive Dean of College of Science, Engineering and Technology, Professor Bheki Mamba, Executive Dean of the College of Agriculture and Environmental Sciences, Professor Monde Ndwasa, Executive Management of the two colleges that reside within the Unisa Science Campus, which is both CAIS and CSET, to the Executive Management and the entire delegation from Palabora Mining Company, Mr. Aidan Skumbi, Mr. Mabore, Ms. Mabore Macheru, Mr. Dennis Modise, our distinguished guest from Yonsei University in South Korea, fellow Unisans and CSETers who are joining us here at the Thamsanqa Kambule Auditorium, and those who are joining us via the different streaming platforms, good morning. Ndimacheron, Sanbonan, Dumelang. I know, we are live and ready. I was just testing you out. It is indeed a good morning, a very good morning here at the Science Campus this morning, as we all gather here to witness the official sign-off of the MOU, which is the Memorandum of Understanding between Unisa and Palabora Mining Company. This, ladies and gentlemen, is indeed a partnership that has already started bearing fruit. I won't spoil it for you because you are still going to hear from the different speeches how this already has started to be in motion long before the signing on the dotted line. So it's quite exciting for us to be here today. My name is Dr. Nozipho Gumbi. I am the Communications and Marketing Specialist for the College of Science, Engineering and Technology. But for this morning, I will be steering the program as the MC to make sure that, well, I was hoping that we'll start and we end on time, but things happen, and as I say, they all happen for the right reasons. If you are on the social media platforms, Please do Facebook about what's happening here, tweet about it, X about it. We are going by the hashtag UNISAXPMCPARTNERSHIP. Let the world know what is happening here at the Unisa Science Campus. So, without any much further waste of time, I'd like to invite upon the podium our Executive Dean of College, Professor Bheki Mamba, to officially welcome us all here at the Unisa Science Campus and sort of set the scene for the entire program. Prof. Mamba, it's over to you.
Thank you, Dr. Gumbi, and also for doing the task of welcoming everybody. And I say all protocol observed so that we would actually run with the time. It's a pleasure for us as a College of Science, Engineering and Technology to welcome all of you here to celebrate a milestone of something that you have been talking about, where the industry and the universities, they work together to solve problems in this country. One of the greatest investments that you can make is to invest in human beings, human capacity. You can put money in a stock exchange, but the stock exchange fluctuates. But when you invest in human capacity building, you are actually destined for a longer haul. It was a pleasure for us that through the inaugural lecture that was given by the head of the Department of Mining Engineering, Professor Mulenga, we actually found partnership with Palabora Mining Company. And one would have taken it for granted that a university in South Africa should be in partnership with a mining company. After all, mining is the #1 industry or the bedrock of the economy of South Africa. I remember in the first speech that was given by the Vice Chancellor, Professor Lenkapula, she actually called my name and said, Prof. Mamba, have you established any linkages with the mining companies? Immediately after she mentioned that, I called Professor Mulenga and I said, for us in Gauteng, being the center of gold, we should actually be having this kind of partnerships with the mining companies. Now in South Africa, there are only 4 universities offering mining engineering, but I can actually tell you that we have got a long way to go in terms of exploiting the relationship to the benefit of humanity and also for the country at large. Government has been talking about beneficiation, adding value to the products that we excavate from underground. But it has always been talk about talks. We have had mining in Davos in February. It's the same rhetoric. We should do beneficiation, but it doesn't happen all by itself. It requires an intentional partnership that we are setting up even today with the Palabora Mining Company, who, in their wisdom, even after establishing the value improvement practices company, we realized that into the innovation space, they want to do more than just excavating and exporting. They want to do beneficiation. They want to improve the human capacity in their company. So we thought it is wise that we come together with the executive of the university and come and formalize this relationship, which already has received traction, as you have seen in the media spaces. And we said it's high time that we put it to bed and actually have it signed up. As you'll realize, as people will tell you later on, that it's a relationship that has already started bearing fruits, with students already being enrolled for master's degrees and PhDs, and a number of their staff who have been now subjected to the recognition of prior learning. So, ladies and gentlemen, for us it's such a great pleasure, and we believe that the best years are still ahead of us as we continue to reconstruct this country and making a contribution as UNISA, because we are the biggest university in South Africa and we must make our presence felt. And with those few words, I'd really like to welcome the executive of the Palabora Mining Company and the executive of the University of South Africa, led by Professor Linkapula, who is our Vice Chancellor and Principal, and of course acknowledging the presence of our guests from South Korea, the university which we have already heard so much about, and as the College of Agriculture, Environmental Sciences and College of Science, Engineering, Technology, we already have discussions in terms of what we shall put in place so that we establish relationship with the university. And we therefore thank you, Professor Peng, for with your delegation who have come and graced our campus. And for you, ladies and gentlemen, for making time to be here with us. And of course, the principal of our college, Professor Thenjiwe Lenkapula, of course, he's a they say the vice principal is for those of you who don't know, each vice principal is allocated a college. So the vice principal who is allocated our college, that is College of Agriculture, Environmental Sciences, and the College of Science, Engineering, and Technology, is Professor Meyiwa. That's why I thought maybe we should educate you a bit that here it's, yes, although it's just to do with research, but primarily he's also the principal for this college. Ladies and gentlemen, please feel free and interact, and mine was just a short one to just set the scene. And with those few words, I would like to request our principal and vice chancellor, Professor Puleng Lenkapule, to give us an address. Thank you.
Colleagues, can you give your dean a very warm round of applause? Thank you very much, Professor Mamba, for really giving us an understanding of what the college and the science campus are planning to do. Let me take this opportunity, colleagues, to recognize you all and thank you for having been able to wake up and come to the campus to witness this important occasion. I first would like you to give yourselves a round of applause. I'm very aware that some of you might have been putting that alarm off to avoid being here early, but like me, I tried, but it didn't work. So Professor Meyiwa, the Vice Principal of Research and Innovation, Postgraduate Students and Commercialization, let me recognize guests, the partners, and I must also declare, colleagues, there's no divorce when you partner with us as UNISA, neither separation. There's a constant effort at improving our journey. So please know that once we've signed, we've signed. Thank you very much. Let me recognize Mr. Aidan Skumbi. I hope I'm saying it properly. If not, forgive me. The Senior Project Manager for Underground Construction, Concentrator and Value Improving Practices at Palabora Mining Company. Let me also recognize our guests, the visitors from Yonsei University, which is one of the Sky University in South Korea, and quite committed to the work that we are doing. Let me, Professor Peng and your delegation, Ayaseo, can I please just, can you see? This is our guest, colleagues. Thank you very much. You're welcome. Let me recognize the dean who has brought us here, Professor Mamba, the executive management of the college, the scientists that are also at the center of this important area that we are here to witness. Colleagues, please give them a round of applause too. Thank you, Professor Mamba, for always pioneering very exciting programs for the university, and especially pathfinding for industry-university relationship. I'd like to recognize at the Science Campus we have 2 colleges, CSET and KAIS. I'd like to recognize Professor Ntwasa, Professor Mapodi, and your executive leadership. We are here to see the support and solidarity with one another. They too require your round of applause. I think because they are the people, when Professor Mamba has taken the minerals, beneficiated them, they have to do the remediation, isn't it? So we have to make them great partners in this journey. It gives me a great pleasure, colleagues, to welcome you to this important event on the occasion of the signing of the Memorandum of Understanding between the University of South Africa and Palabora Mining. For us as the university, a partnership with industry is not only important, it's fundamental, because the research that's undertaken by our scientists, our researchers, but also the intersection with our economies and impacting the world positively is quite at the center of how we imagine a university that's at the center of the imagination of society. It is a fact, and Professor Mamba, you've already re-emphasized this point, that South Africa and many countries in the continent use mining or mineral resources to spawn, pivot, and catapult their economies. And in our country, mining has been the bedrock of our economy. It means precisely because our country is rich in mineral resources, and many countries in the continent, if you think about the challenges of DR Congo, they are because of mining, and mining of those aspects that are central to the automotive industry. Your EV cars cannot be successful without some of the mineral resources from our country or from our continent. Whether you think of your mobile phones, colleagues, you know very well, because you're the people who do the research, that it cannot happen without. Our country is endowed with gold, platinum, uranium, and the one they don't tell us often about, but you scientists know about, is rhodium. I learned about that when I heard the secrets of aeronautics, Professor Mamba. So it's true to diamonds, which we are told are girls' best friends. I don't have diamonds, so I'm jealous. They're not yet my best friends, and I'm hoping in your mining endeavors, Professor Mamba, you'll not only partner with PLC, but you'll find some ownership rights as part of the partnership. It's very important, so that we reinvest the knowledge, they reinvest the outputs, and we all beneficiate together. I thought you would be happy about that, colleagues. So what I'm trying to say to Mr. Shumbi, if I'm saying it properly, am I saying it properly? Yes. And Professor Mamba and Professor Mlenga is, let us move beyond science and research. Let us look at a benefit sharing agreement where we all invest and we can have productivity that is enhanced. I think that's the model, Prof. Mamba, that I'd like us to pursue, which allows us to have effective mining efficiencies, cost-productive systems, research influencing productivity, and productivity influencing the investments that you have to make in your science, in your students, in their exposure to being excellent. The signing of the MOU today gives us concrete expression to the implementation of one of our catalytic niche areas, which enhances the fourth industrial revolution, the interface of biotic, natural, and other resources the imagination of the university in its capabilities, in unleashing processing capabilities, enhancing capabilities, and working already with a company that is doing this at an operational level to improve efficiencies. Our cooperation with you, colleagues from Palabora, will not only contribute towards research collaboration, innovation, and postgraduate students. I'm hoping it will contribute to you being one of the leading companies in the world, and our students and scientists being some of the leading mining experts in the world because of the concrete experiences they will derive from that intersection. Our chair of department for mining engineering and the principal investigator at Unisa PMC Partnership, Professor Mlenga, I'm told by Professor Mamba that you're using all your research to ensure that the engineering problems in mining are investigated, but also are worked along with mining environments to ensure that we improve mining and mining as a resource and an asset for our country. So I'm appreciative, Professor Mamba, that you recognize the inventiveness of your researchers and leading researchers, and that we support them to ensure that they strengthen the university, its business, and its impact. Our MOU will not only contribute towards the digitization niche area and mining niche area. It's also about student support, core curricular support, and giving experiences to the students as they learn about mining, whether virtually. I am told that South Africa, and not Australia, uses robotics more than any other mining environments in the world. I'm not certain. I'd like you as CSET to help us so that we look at how the interface of digitization, mining, robotics, and associated learning environments are understood. You have said, Professor Mamba, the recognition of prior learning as a pathway to formal tertiary education has been seen as an important pivot point to supporting those who already have experience in mining, but not the qualifications that are required. And therefore, you're going to retrain, reskill, upskill, multi-skill, and create educational opportunities to enhance competencies and therefore contribute to productivity and socio-economic transformation of societies. Finally, colleagues, through the collaboration with PMC, UNISA will contribute to work placement for our students registered in the Department of Mining Engineering at UNISA. Can you give them a round of applause? Those of you who are responsible for work learning experience, you'd bear testament to how complicated sometimes it is to award our degrees if our students do not have workplace experience. And therefore, we are appreciative that we will be partnering together to ensuring that we do so. I talked about digitization. I talked about student affairs and co-curricular affairs. But what is even more important, especially in the context of the challenges that we are having with energy in the country, the catalytic niche area that will also be impacted by this partnership is that on energy. And I'm truly appreciative that you've used at least 3 catalytic niche areas, Professor Mamba, and your team to ensure that you address the questions that the college would like to solve with Palabora Mining Company, as you would with the communities that we serve in our country and in the global arena. The mandate of the VIP unit at Palabora Mining Company will be strengthened and will strengthen us to meet the strategic needs of the company, as would be the case of Unisa. Extending the life of the current mining operations by several decades is the primary goal that Palabora Mining will ensure that the legacy is enabling that no one is left behind. I have asked the question to you, Professor Mamba. If you can develop diamonds in the laboratory, what distinguishes them from those from underground? And you gave me a very important answer to say the ones underground will still be more valuable because I don't know in your science what you call that, but I do understand that your nuclear physicist will tell me the divergent aspects of the composition of those underground and those that you create in the lab. So I hope those discussions also with Palabora Mining will take place. The journey towards the signing of the MOU shows a clear link between academy and industry. It started with the inaugural lecture delivered by Professor Francois Mlenga on 19th July 2023, which was attended by more than 200 delegates, and we're grateful to the strategic decision by the leadership of Unisa, especially the college, to hosting such an illustrious online lecture. It was titled, Modeling the Mine Production Chain for Improved Performance. So supply chain issues for those in the College of Economic and Management Sciences, but also in Accounting Sciences, Professor Meiwa, will be an important area for our benefit as well. Thank you very much, colleagues. Elite team from Unisa was then constituted to carry out several site visits of the different departments, operations, facilities of Palabora Mining. I'm sure all of you who are sitting here in the hall, whether you are from Eastern Cape, Free State, Western Cape, Northern Cape, Limpopo, Northwest, anywhere, you have a relative who might have worked in some mine at some point. How many have an uncle or a father or some neighbor that worked in the mine? Can you do by show of hands? Some people are showing too. Thank you very much. And then if you're from Lesotho, Botswana, Eswatini, Mozambique, you'd know that many people came to South Africa for mining. At this point, many people go to West Africa from our country. They also go to Democratic Republic of Congo, as they do South Africa. What this means, colleagues and Professor Mamba, is that our MOU with the Palabora Mining Company should not just be limited to South Africa, because our university is a university that's structured as a science diplomat for the country, the only one with campuses outside South Africa, and the only one that must ensure that it reclaims its African intellectual futures by not just being insulated here at home, but looking for horizons outside our geospatial area. Welcome to UNISA. Welcome to the University of Leaders, where scientists pursue the solutions that serve society, and where engineering is a partner in multidisciplinary discipline that helps society to flourish. And welcome to you, our industry partners. As I said, there's no divorce, there's no separation, there's productivity, outputs, and enhancing our country's participation and competitiveness in the world. Thank you. You're welcome. You're welcome, colleagues.
Ladies and gentlemen, another round of applause for our Principal and Vice Chancellor. Thank you very much, Prof. Puleng Linkapula, for that address and the challenges that you put forward for our colleges and UNISA at large in terms of this partnership that is starting. Maybe to let you in a bit, at this week's College Board, Prof. Mamba put all of us to task to say, hey, we have this MOU signing that's happening. Some of you, it will be the first time seeing our principal live, so please come. So, as you see, the room is full with our staff. All of us eagerly came to see and witness not just the partnership, but how, or bear witness to the inception of the partnership and that which it will yield going forward. I will make a slight change to how the program is set up and invite Ms. Mabore Macheru to give her address on behalf of the PMC, unpacking the Unisa PMC partnership before we move into the actual signing of the MOU. Right after her address, then we will get into the signing. Ms. Mabore Macheru, it's over to you. Thank you.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. In the interest of time, allow me to say all protocol observed. My name is Mabore Macheru. I am the manager responsible for training and development, as well as contractor management at PMC. I report to Mr. Modise, who is the Senior Manager for Human Resources, who happens to be here in our midst today. I would like him to stand so that we can also acknowledge him. We refer to him as Moreki, meaning the buyer, because he's the one who's sponsoring all our training, learning, and developmental interventions at PMC. My role today is to unpack the MOU, but before I take you to the pillars of the MOU, I would like to just touch on the background. At PMC, we recognize that our greatest asset is our people, as they are the driving force behind our success. It is their dedication, expertise, and creativity that drives our business forward, enabling us to achieve our strategic goals. Therefore, investing in their development is not just a mere obligation, but for us, it's a strategic imperative. When we invest in our employees, we invest in the future of our company. I would also like to indicate that PMC is an employer of choice. We have been accredited with the accolade of being a top employer, and this comes with some responsibilities of ensuring that we have a sound, attractive, and meaningful employee value proposition, which basically requires employees to be developed and to be engaged. Now, the MOU that we've established with UNISA, it has 7 areas of interest, or rather it has 7 pillars. And I'll talk to pillar number 1. Pillar number 1 is around research and development in the area not limited to science, technology, and engineering for postgraduate studies. This is to support and enable our employees to partake in industry-based research through master's and PhD studies. As the organization, we face challenges that are mainly common within the mining industry that tends to result in business disruptions due to lower process efficiency, due to inadequate plant and equipment availability, and etc. And this requires employees with the right level of skills, acumen, and aptitude to address and solve those operational challenges. Through this partnership, some of our employees will have an opportunity to enroll for postgraduate studies where they will embark on research relevant to support our business strategy. And I'm happy to announce that because we have started with this partnership late last year, I think year to date, we have already enrolled about 12 of our employees on postgraduate studies. And this is just the beginning. I'm sure as time goes by, the number will basically increase. The second pillar is around work integrated learning opportunities. And this is to assist UNISA students to gain practical work experience to be able to graduate. We know that UNISA is one of the institutions that still offer vocational type of qualification, where learning has to happen in the class and learning has to happen in the industry as well, so that the students can be able to graduate for qualifications such as diploma. Now, this collaboration will assist us to also diversify our talent pool, as most of our feed at PMC comes from programs such as internships, such as learnerships, as well as apprenticeship. One of the philosophies that we have adopted at PMC is to grow our own timber from within, meaning we engage students and we engage students to develop them so that in future they can become our employees. Therefore, UNISA students, together with students from other tertiary institutions, will be provided with opportunities that will assist them to acquire relevant work experience in line with what they have studied for, particularly in the field of mining engineering as well as mine survey. And I'm also happy to announce that the interview process have started last month, and very soon we will be producing a report to UNISA indicating the number of students that we have placed on these programs. The third pillar is on the development of short learning programs, which are pitched at above NQF level 4. And this will assist us as the industry to accelerate the development of all our employees by elevating their knowledge and skills over and above the mandatory training that we do on the mine, over and above the occupational qualifications that we provide to our employees. The world of work is constantly changing, and therefore continuous learning and growth becomes essential. Our partnership with UNISA will enable us to implement robust training, learning, and developmental programs that are designed to enhance the skills and capabilities of our employees. And we believe that this will not only benefit PMC as the company, but this will benefit South African mining industry as a whole. The fourth pillar is on the development of a higher certificate in supervisory development at NQF level 5 for mining. As the organization, we have recently crafted a leadership development framework that defines the skills and competencies required for all the leadership levels. Now, through this partnership, we will be able to design a tailor-made qualification for our first-time managers or our frontline leaders, majority of whom were promoted within the system on the basis of being good operators or on the basis of being good artisans. So they have operational experience, they were good artisans. However, along the way, you know, they find themselves being appointed as supervisors. So we need to come up with a program that will enhance their leadership skills, that will enhance their technical skills as well, to enable them to properly lead, inspire, and guide their teams to successfully deliver on their work output. As the qualification will be pitched at NQF level 5, which is a higher certificate, our wish is that this program should articulate to NQF level 6 qualification to allow progression within the national qualification framework. Meaning, when we have placed our supervisors on NQF level 5 qualification, in future, should they wish to progress with their qualification, they should be able to register for diploma, maybe in mining engineering. They should be able to register for diploma in chemical engineering, just as an example. Our plea to UNISA is to consider registering and offering modules of this qualification as short learning programs first. And we are saying this because we understand that there are necessary protocols and some due diligence that has to be followed to register a new qualification, especially with SAQA, as well as Quality Council for Higher Education. So we understand that it's going to be a process, obviously, to register a new qualification, but maybe as a start, we can register the modules as short learning programs, and then at a later stage, we can give credits towards that formal qualifications once it's registered. For this qualification, we are also looking at a blended approach methodology of teaching, where our SMEs from the industry could also influence the curriculum content and co-present some of the classes or some of the lecture with UNISA. The The fifth pillar on the MOU is around the implementation of RPL, which is recognition of prior learning. Now, through this partnership, majority of our employees will have access to tertiary institutions through RPL. As majority of them, they possess relevant skills and experience, but they lack matric certificate with maths and science. RPL for admission into formal qualification hold a significant importance in our organization, since over the years, many of our shop floor employees were not able to progress to senior positions or to professional position, meaning they will come with their grade 12 and they will really work up to a certain level. And they will never ever be able to progress to senior positions, because most of those senior positions, they've got certain qualifications that are prerequisite for people to occupy those positions. Through this partnership, a different learning pathway will assist our lower level employees to obtain admission to study formal qualifications. And I'm also excited because we've also made significant progress on this. I have seen some of our employees from underground obtaining admission letter from UNISA to study for mining engineering. I've seen some of our plant operators, those who are working in the plants, mainly mineral processing plants, given admission letter to study chemical engineering. So the future is really bright for our employees. Now, the sixth pillar is collaboration between Palabora Copper and UNISA around research, innovation, commercialization, and technical support. As PMC, we are currently expanding our operational footprint, and we are introducing new technologies, especially in our underground operations, in our concentrator plants, as well as in our smelter and refinery operations to optimize our processes. And this partnership, ladies and gentlemen, will assist us to collaborate with UNISA in the area of innovation and knowledge creation, where some of our employees will collaborate with UNISA and will undertake research projects that will produce publications and articles. This will drive business sustainability by building strong technical pipelines with knowledge on technology transfer for optimizing operations and project development. This in future will also help us to minimize reliance on external parties or on external OEMs. OEM stands for original equipment manufacturer. Driving innovation will foster growth and secure the future success of our company. It will assist us to challenge the status quo and place our organization at a competitive advantage. The seventh pillar is around exchange of educators and advisors, learners, to participate in conferences, symposia, as well as seminars. And this will provide a platform for professional development and networking, where researchers and professionals will be able to share knowledge and insights with one another. And through this initiative, we believe that our employees will have unlimited access to experts' input from UNISA, and equally so, UNISA will also have access to gather information and data for research from our organization as well. Now, many might be asking why UNISA? Why as PMC we have chosen to partner with UNISA? We have chosen UNISA because UNISA is a leader in open distance learning as well as online learning with a legacy of 150 years. Now, this will enable our employees to be able to work and study at the same time from the remote town of Palabora. So they won't have to, travel. They'll go to their work and then they'll be able to study at the same time. What I like about UNISA as well is that in some of the disciplines, UNISA has adopted what we call continuous assessments for assignments as well as exams. Now, this provides flexibility. In the mining industry, most of our employees, they work shifts. Now, when you've got a schedule that is flexible, they can even choose on which day do they want to write their assessments. Okay. UNISA has a vibrant and dynamic research culture which aligns to the vision of our company. UNISA also offers short learning programs which are aimed at targeting specific needs of industry. UNISA is also a pioneer for delivering well-designed, interactive study material via their unique learner management system. And this will appeal very well to our adult learners. And I can basically attest to this because I'm also one of the students at UNISA. I've enrolled for, it's my first year, I've enrolled for BCom degree. I'm studying BCom degree in industrial and organizational psychology. So I'm enjoying learning content because it's quite interactive. It's easy to navigate through the content and it's quite interactive. Now, in conclusion, I would like to say to UNISA, let us define the future together. Let us define the future together. The future is really bright. And whatever that we have started, let it continue. And the other speaker was saying, once we have started, there's no divorce. We are not hoping for divorce. We want to see value out of this partnership that we have forged. I thank you.
challenges that you put forward again about wanting those short learning programs to be developed before the actual qualifications, I saw some head nods from our executives. I think your request is likely to go through. So ladies and gentlemen, we have come to that part of our program where we are all here to witness the official signing of the partnership between the two entities, Unisa and Palabora Mining Company. To help us with the signing of the MOU, I'd like to invite Mr. Mamorobela Masale to assist us with the documentation. Can we have some ululations? Mipuru, mkhulukwane, something. Thank you. attention, please, ladies and gentlemen. It is done.
Thank you very much, Program Director, for the opportunity. Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. This is such a big moment for the Department of Mining Engineering because it's one of its kind and one of many. As we celebrate UNISA being in the education business for the last 150 years, Palabora Mining Company is looking forward to extending the life of their mine by 120 years. And this is quite important for them because the town of Palabora is really heavily dependent on Palabora Mining Company. And therefore, the life of the mine ensure social cohesion. We are really excited about this partnership because we believe as UNISA will be able to contribute with industry-based research, meaningful research for cohesion building. I'd really like to thank you for joining us as the MOU was being signed and as we're witnessing something quite extraordinary, not only for the Department of Mining Engineering, for the College of Science, Engineering and Technology led by Professor Mamba, and for the University of South Africa. I thank you very much.
His Excellency, Chancellor of UNISA, Dr. Thabo Mbeki, the Principal and Vice Chancellor, Professor Lenkabula, and yes, ma'am, there will be no divorce. The Vice Principal of Research and Innovation, Professor Mayiwa, the Executive Dean of the College of Science, Engineering and Technology, Professor Mamba, the Chair of the Department of Mining, Minerals and Geomatics Engineering, Professor Mulenga. Executives at large from the College of Science, Engineering and Technology, executives, managers, and colleagues of mine at Palabora Mining Company, ladies and gentlemen, I thank you for this auspicious occasion and for the honor of being welcomed on this world-class Florida campus. Some of you from UNISA may take it for granted. I urge you not to. We stand at the beginning of a journey, and I believe it could be the beginning of several journeys. I will elaborate shortly. But first, a word on Palabora Mining Company. We started in 1956 and are therefore 68 years young. The mine was managed by Rio Tinto in a partnership with Anglo American until 2013, when a consortium led by Hebei Iron and Steel from China, the Industrial Development Corporation, employees, and local interests acquired Palabora Mining Company. We have generous shareholders. They consistently reinvest in the company. We spend approximately 500 million rand a year on new technology and upgrades within our company. Our shareholders have gone to great lengths to preserve jobs, to promote employee growth, and to invest in our local community. We are approximately 2,700 employees and another 2,000 contractors who pass through our gates. My colleague, Ms. Mabore, has already addressed the scope of cooperation. 7 elements which I will not repeat in the interest of time, but I believe you will agree with me that these are enabling elements. They are not constraining. They are not limiting. They are win-win, not competitive. This is not a zero-sum partnership. The scope of cooperation is industry-focused and people-centered, and dare I say it is already impacting our business and people's lives. From PMC, we are represented here by 2 divisions, a member of the executive and leader of our human resources division, Mr. Dennis Modise, and myself leading up the value improving practices division. I think we all understand what human resources are, but what on earth is value improving practices? Well, to this end, I may share a couple of the definitions we use. We define value as being the satisfaction of needs divided by the use of existing resources. We define improving as a process to make something better over time. And we define practice as the act of doing something repeatedly in order to improve. A VIP, or a value improving practitioner, therefore, is a member of the mine or of the contractors who work on the mine who has contributed in the field of knowledge sharing or who has generated an idea or implemented a value improving idea. We further define innovation as an idea, a process, a technology, a sequence or a system that represents a new solution to an existing problem, using what resources we already have to create value. So based on that definition, we classify and rank our ideas and our innovative implementations according to 5 criteria. Is it new? Is there an existing problem? Does this represent a solution to the existing problem? Does it create value? And does it utilize existing resources? And typically, if an idea qualifies for 3 out of those 5, we would include it for recognition in the value improvement process. I take a short detour here to reference innovation in the mining industry and how it has changed all of our lives. I'll start with a rather old one, the blast furnace. Cast iron was prevalent in the 5th century BC in China, and the first rudimentary blast furnaces were in operation in the 1st century AD. The blast furnace was introduced to Europe in the 1500s, and for the first time, iron became an available commodity. Instead of being reserved for predominantly weapons making, such is the nature of man, it ended up in the hands of peasants as agricultural implements, and I dare say was the backbone of the Industrial Revolution. In 1864, a gentleman, Alfred Nobel, took out 2 patents, one for blasting caps and one for a product he called dynamite, which stabilized nitroglycerine. Dynamite was rapidly employed worldwide, and it led to an expansion in the growth of underground and hard rock mining. The Hall-Héroult process turned aluminium, the most abundant metal on Earth, from an extremely rare commodity, more expensive than gold or platinum, into the household product we know today, 1886. 2 gentlemen, MacArthur Forrest, changed the Witwatersrand goldfields with a patent in Glasgow in 1887 for the dissolution of gold in cyanide. This allowed low-grade gold deposits and the recovery of non-gravimetric gold. A little bit closer to home, an invention in Kimberley in 1890 with the mixing of wax and petroleum jelly allowed the use of grease tables for the first time, making use of diamonds' hydrophobic properties. This invention greatly reduced labor, increased productivity, and for the first time allowed the recovery of smaller diamonds. We could talk about the Davy safety lamp in 1815, a process to separate sulfide minerals from gangue using oil in 1860. Some of you may know it as the flotation process. Electrofying of copper in 1847, a process we still employ today at Palabora. Or the Kroll process to recover metallic titanium from titanium tetrachloride, 1940. Some innovations are not technical. In France, in 1770, a process began that continued through to the late 1800s at a mine called Languedoc. This resulted in the creation of labor unions and safety delegates. A campaign for mining safety enabled miners to break from their peasant mentality and create a solidarity based on the shared hazards that they face, to develop a working class consciousness and later introduce worker-elected mine safety delegates and labor unions as we know them today. I wonder where our South African mining industry would be without such innovations. So in closing, I would like to make the observation that not everything that counts can be counted. If we seek out innovations and inventions such as the ones I've just mentioned, and we focus only on those, I believe we will exclude 99% of our employees. And we will exclude 99% of the ideas and contributions made by these employees. How do we measure, for instance, an innovation from one of our students that suggested we add a sixth value to the 5 existing values at PMC, namely the value of innovation? While not everything that counts can be counted, it is also true that not everything that can be counted counts. Innovation is extremely hard to measure and to benchmark. First of all, measurement requires benchmarking, but innovation is by definition a novel and new process, so what can you benchmark against? There's often a lengthy life cycle between the initial research and development and the later use of a product that allows measurement in weeks or even months and quarters to be impractical. And lastly, there's a time lag in which the new innovation and the new technology is still inferior to the outgoing technology. You could think for yourself of the first digital phones, and the phones on your cameras were vastly inferior to that camera that tourists carried around their neck, but no longer. So in conclusion, it means a lot for Palabora Mining to partner with Africa's leading university. I believe that 1/3 of all higher education students find their way through Unisa's systems. And approximately 400,000 students are enrolled directly through Unisa and its affiliates. As Palabora, we are a leader in the mining industry, and proudly so. We have a full value chain from the underground all the way through to refining of copper and even the production of copper rod. I believe that if we applied our 5 criteria to this new memorandum of understanding and this partnership, we would realize that it is a solution to real life existing problems. It is new, it is already adding value, and most powerfully, it has cost both organizations very little because we've been able to utilize existing resources to develop the relationship and the roadmap for the journey ahead. I thank you.
Thank you very much to the 2 gentlemen for keeping to time and for their addresses. I think we can all agree that it's nice to be here, hey? Kumnandi ukubala. We could stay longer, but okay, now moving on to the very final item in our program, as far as speeches are concerned, I'd like to call upon Professor Thenjiwe Meyiwa to give us concluding remarks. Thereafter, we will move to the engineering labs, where we will be ushered for a ribbon cutting. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Program Director, Dr. Gumbi. I'm acknowledging all protocols that exist, all management, family of Florida campus, of visitors from within and external to the continent and the country. Reflecting on what has happened today, you cannot but look at the fact that CSAT seems to have waited for April, a very incredible milestone month for the country, and in particular this year as we turn 30 years in our democracy. And witnessing this marriage, as the Vice-Chancellor has made reference to it, is a demonstration that indeed transformation has come through Unisa and MPC and PMC. With that said, we want to acknowledge the fact that this is indeed a societal impact, as the speakers that have come up here have made reference to that, a societal impactful relationship that we shall see. We've witnessed scholarship meeting industry. We've witnessed the definition of future, though, that's happening together. We've seen and heard how often the word innovation has been used, and just listening to the speakers that have come up here who are external to UNISA, you'll agree and concur with me that they seem like they've been at UNISA for quite long. They speak our language, eh? So we should have gotten married quite a while ago. One word that's come out quite repeatedly, I'm listening and sitting there, I'm thinking, it is so reverberating through every person who's come up here, that is solutions. That let's find solutions to the problems that we have, let's find solutions to live a better life, let's find solutions to actually not have the war to which one of the speakers made reference to in a figurative manner. And with that said, I've just realized that what we're doing here, we're actually indeed inventing. We're inventing the future, and in inventing the future, you and I, and as a collective, as it has been said before, that people are very important. They are a great asset, as one of the speakers made reference to that, in ensuring and actually reminding us of the value of improving our relationships as people. And through this partnership, this is what we're seeing, a celebration, a milestone that could not have happened any other month, but during the month, this incredible month of celebrating our existence and of saying that in finding solutions, let's transform for the better, and not only for the better of individuals, of individual organizations, but do that within communities, as we've heard about what PMC has done for the community of Palabora, as well as looks to do for UNISA. All that's been laid out here, it is indeed a testament. It is an expression of implementing MOU. Just last year alone, I signed more than 100 MOUs. This is just in 1 year. And it worries me that we see more MOUs, agreements, and memoranda of understanding, but the implementation of them is far and few in between. Today we've witnessed and heard, and we actually have been promised and we've signed on something that is much more tangible. You'll all agree with me when we do that. Let's then, when we usher ourselves into the weekend, be in a celebratory mode, because indeed this is a milestone. Thank you. Gabon.
Thank you, Prof. Meyiwa, for the address. Ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of our program, as I said. We now are to move to the mining engineering labs, where we will be ushered and shown where the ribbon cutting is going to take place. This is just symbolic of the partnership that is being instituted here today with what we are there to see. After that ribbon cutting, we'll have our lunch. Thereafter, a tour of our College of Agriculture and Environmental Sciences labs. Thank you very much. You've been a great crowd, and have a lovely day further.
My name is Eric Mwalusi, Technical Manager at Palabora Mining Company. Today I'm here to share the journey that I've undertaken with UNISA, particularly in the enrollment of Masters of Engineering. I must say is that ever since I've completed my undergraduate, which is a BTech degree in metallurgical engineering, I've never thought that one day I will find myself furthering my studies towards postgraduate. For simple, one fundamental reason. I believe that class-based masters at a time is going to take quite a lot of my time in considering the demanding workplace in the mining industry, and the fact that as a leader, I have an obligation to mentor, coach, and guide many subordinates. For that reason, I felt that embarking on studies may take me away from the main obligation, which is to guide and lead the technical team. And therefore, it was very, very difficult for me to take a consideration to study towards a postgraduate or master's in engineering. This view has came to change when Palabora Mining Company started to collaborate with UNISA, and I've realized that there is an opportunity which one cannot afford to miss. And this opportunity came around after the realization that UNISA embarked on industrial research-based masters or postgraduate studies. I felt that given that we have a new flotation plant, which is an asset that was built over R1 billion with an aim of to produce effectively as well as efficiently rather, as well as cost effectively. I saw that as an opportunity as the mine is leading towards an expansion project which is aimed to achieve close to 88% of efficiency, which will require new approach in terms of how we do things so that the shareholders can realize the value from their initial investment. So I choose the topic that is influence of mineralogy on the metallurgical performance of flotation circuit at Palabora Copper, because I believe that our ore body is such a unique ore body with a complex mineralogy. There's got about 5 minerals that behave differently when they're subject to the process. And for us to be able to remain efficiently and effectively, it is important that one of us understand the fundamentals behind the processes. Hence, I choose to do the research with UNISA, so that as a team concentrator, we can be able to continuous adding value. I must say, moving away from myself, when I look at the partnership between PMC and UNISA, one tends to feel that this seems to have been delayed because it doesn't benefit me alone. I'm speaking on behalf of other close to 10 postgraduates who are enrolled with UNISA for both masters and PhD, which is a good opportunity. And the beautiful about that is that all these researches are based on the challenges that faces Palabora Mining Company. As we know, Palabora Mining Company is very diversified operation, which have products like magnetite, copper, and vermiculite, and also have different processes from mining, mineral processing, smelting, as well as hydrorefining. So that requires skills, which I believe that this partnership between UNISA and PMC is going to be vital to impact the skills into our people and hence become more efficient and more profitable organization. As a person, I also carry a role of leading the knowledge sharing, which is part of the division called Value Improving Practices. One may ask, why do we do the knowledge sharing? The idea is, as Palabora Mining Company, we would like to drive the agenda of innovation, and for that, we got to learn from one another. So what we do is, once employees implemented their project, their success project, we form a gathering within so that they can share expertise or their learnings, particularly from the processes and best practices that they've used during their project. I'm a testimony to that, whereby I've done some research work or good work around improving flotation recovery. And I must say is that I feel privileged and very, very thankful to the organization, because the very same project was nominated as a winner within the HBIF group for science and innovation and technology in China. So this is a good testimony, is a good example for many others within our organization, step to follow, because the idea is we want to create a learning platform whereby we share experience, we learn from one another within Palabora Mining Company. But the bigger vision of that is, as a big organization as PMC, we felt that in the past years, we have not really contributing fully to the industry. And the vision is we want to take this knowledge sharing from internal and expand it into the industry through writing of technical papers, presenting and sharing successful stories during different seminars and conferences. And this, for us, not since we have not born within research industry, we believe that this partnership between UNISA and PMC will be very, very crucial for PMC to carry such mandate in a successful way, and so that we can truly become a leader and a good example within the industry. With that, I'll say thank you very much.
Hi, my name is Prof. Francois Mlenga. I am the head of the Department of Mining Engineering here at UNISA. Today we are celebrating the partnership that's being established between the University of South Africa, UNISA, and Palabora Mining Company, PMC. So what is quite interesting about this partnership is the fact that university is trying to work closely to the mining industry. And in terms of the university, looking at Unisa, that's been offering mining engineering qualifications for over 150 years. Now, when you provide theoretical knowledge to students, at times that does not really trigger their mind in terms of creativity or maybe even visualizing the concepts that they are learning. It's therefore important that when our students are provided with the theoretical knowledge, they are able to visualize that by visiting or spending a few months on a mine. And that's where Palabora Mining Company comes in, because this is a very interesting case study. It's a mine that's quite deep, that's mining base metal, copper and magnetite for the most part. And it uses a cave mining method. And the cave mining method is quite challenging, but because it is challenging, one has to invest a lot in terms of mechanization, monitoring, and when you invest in those two, it helps in terms of safety, and you can see the safety record of the company is quite high. So our students will be quite excited as they go into a lecture hall and be exposed to the theoretical side of things. They'll then go to the mine and visit the operation and do the in-service training to try and link what they covered in the textbook to reality. That's one thing that's quite exciting about this partnership. The second thing that's very interesting really is research. I think it's quite uncommon to find a mining company that's really passionate about research, innovation for the sustainability of their operation. We generally know traditionally that research, innovation, and commercialization, they fall under the university ambit, and therefore for us it's really bread and butter, if I can put it that way. But when you come across a mine that's really trying to invest a lot in research, it becomes a marriage made in heaven, if I can put it that way. And that's what we're really celebrating between Unisa Mining Engineering and Palabora Mining Company, the Value Improving Practice Business Unit side of things. So we've got a lot of research going on, covering the whole value chain. We're looking at mining engineering. We're also looking at the mineral processing side of things. And from a mineral processing side of things, there's just one project that I'm thinking about right now that one of our PMC employees will be is working on as part of their masters. That project seeks to find ways of extracting value out of material that's been dumped over the years. The beauty of that particular project is that if we are able to define a processing route that can beneficiate the tailing dams, that can extract value out of it, at least the life of the mine will be extended by a number of years. I think we're looking at least 50 years. And when you go and visit Palabora Mining Company, which is a mine that we've been visiting over the past few months, you'll definitely see that the town of Palabora is really defined pretty much as the PMC, Palabora Mining Company. At the same time, PMC also contributes a lot in terms of uplifting the community. So if the life of the man can be extended, then it means that the town is not going to die down. It means that one has got an opportunity to leave a legacy to the next generation. And that speaks volume to this collaboration that is really being established. The other thing that I need to mention that is quite important is the fact that when you look at Unisa, our mandate is to change people's lives through education. And when you look at a mining company like Palabora Mining Company, like I said, I've been visiting that mine. You'll see that one of their core values is to
change people's lives. That could be through employment, that could be through business development, that can also be through education. So this partnership is an opportunity for us to support the mine towards uplifting their employees, the employees who are interested in higher education, the employees who are interested in bettering their lives through education. So these are some of the things that are embedded or pretty much captured into this partnership. But in a nutshell, if you look at it, Unisa Mining Engineering is really about changing people's lives through education. Similarly, Palabora Mining Company is about changing people's lives by providing them job security, and for those who are interested in education, they are supported by the company. Thank you very much.